Parenting a neurodivergent child often feels like trying to stay afloat in a flood. You're met with an avalanche of paperwork, clinical jargon, and conflicting advice, yet the actual experience is one of profound isolation. I approached this first as a psychiatric nurse. I had the degrees and the clinical training to understand the why behind the behavior. But when my own child was diagnosed, that professional knowledge failed the reality test. Clinical theory doesn't account for a Tuesday morning meltdown when you're already late for work. We hand parents a diagnosis, but we don't give them a manual for the next 24 hours. We explain the condition and then leave the family to survive the day on their own. There is a sharp divide between understanding a psychological profile and the physical exhaustion of managing it at a dinner table every single night. I hit a wall when I realized the medical system I worked in didn't have a toolkit for the how-to of daily life. It offered labels, but it didn't offer a way to get through the afternoon. This gap leaves families to reinvent the wheel in total silence, struggling through the same challenges as the neighbor 3 doors down, with no way to connect the dots. I decided to stop trying to apply the textbooks. I started writing down the small, specific adjustments that actually worked in our home. I began filtering my nursing background through my perspective as a mother, stripping away the fluff until only the practical maneuvers remained. Documenting these moments, random data points aligned. A Tuesday meltdown and Friday sensory shutdown shared triggers. The chaos was actually repeating patterns. I organized these into 11 categories. Instead of guessing, I went directly to the section addressing the behavior. When you categorize the chaos, you stop having to make 100 separate decisions an hour. You have a reference point, which clears the mental space needed to actually be present with your child. Those 11 categories eventually grew into more than 300 distinct tools, each one a specific response to a real-life situation. If a child is overwhelmed by a transition, the tool doesn't give you a lecture on brain chemistry. It gives you a 3-step action you can take right now. It perfectly bridges the gap between high-level psychiatric theory and the practical reality of being an exhausted caregiver. I realized that sharing these notes could help other families skip the years of trial and error I went through. We built Together As We Are to turn a personal survival system into a resource for any parent who needs it. It puts an organized, expert-level guide right in your pocket, designed for the moments when you're too tired to think of what to do next. It moves neurodivergent caregiving away from a state of isolated guesswork and into a shared, navigable process. This journey will always have its challenges, but you don't have to navigate them without any tools. I want you to know that you are not doing this alone anymore. The Together As We Are app is live on the App Store. I invite you to download and explore the tools we've built for you.